What's going on, everybody? Red Velvet is back in the studio. We have audio this time, and I have a very special guest joining me, Coach Nick Duggan. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I think we got everything squared away. If you listen to JC Thomas's episode, that was actually the second one. So I'm just a little – you're my first guest in studio since, so I'm a little gun shy right now. I don't want anything to happen. But how was school today?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
What subject do you teach?
I am actually a full-time substitute right now.
Okay.
So I float back and forth between Greencastle Middle School and Greencastle High School.
Okay.
Most of the time I spend my time at the middle school.
Yeah. How's it teaching middle school kids and transitioning to coaching high school kids?
It's nice because I get a little bit of that variety,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, like these guys are guys that I've known for years.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier knowing that I get to go and work with guys that want to put in a lot of work and get better, and they just enjoy being around each other. So it makes it easier.
Yeah. And you are Greencastle's assistant baseball coach?
Yes.
Let's go back to your childhood. Let's learn about Coach Duggan. What got you into sports? What got you into this journey, this wild world of sports that we're in? Let's go back to the early days.
Yeah. So for me, I started playing youth sports. The very first sport I ever played was baseball.
Uh-huh.
I remember playing t-ball, and I just kept playing. First year, I brought a flyer home, said, "Hey, Mom, here we go. There's t-ball." Because my brother played baseball. I have an older brother. He played baseball. I said, I'd like to play. And so I got into it like that. I kept playing, get around middle school and playing Babe Ruth. And that last year we made it to the championship before we lost.
Mm-hmm.
In the championship. No, it was semifinals. We lost in semifinals. But that was when I really fell in love with baseball. Was that year, just because it was such a fun year. We were winning a lot of games. It was really nice to do and have that experience.
Okay. What got you into coaching?
I love being able to share the knowledge of the game,
Mm-hmm.
Especially with youth, and being able to see them grow and develop, especially over a 4-year period, let alone a 4-year period. In 1 year is something that I find a lot of joy in seeing that growth and that development as a person and as an athlete.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what I like is you say you're 25, about to be 26.
Yep.
You're almost like a big brother coach, as I call it. I mean, you're not too far removed
Mm-hmm.
from these kids where they are now. What's it like being the big brother coach, as I call it? I mean, the kids, I had a big brother coach when I was a football player. He was a senior, I was a freshman, and then became a coach. And I've tried to, when I was coaching, I always made sure to have a big brother coach.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like?
It has its challenges sometimes. Sometimes they don't always, when I'm trying to, work with them, be serious, maybe they don't always take it that way. But I like it because I can relate to them. They can relate sometimes to me, and it helps with that bond and that camaraderie within the team. That's something that I like about it.
I got you. We talked before the show. You're a South Putt guy.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't South Putt colors. You're a crosstown rival.
Yeah.
Have you caught a lot of flack for that?
I do. Seriously, I do. When I go to events at South Putnam, and if they're playing Greencastle, and I'll go and I'll wear purple. I'll wear purple proudly. I'll sit on our sideline. I'll root for Greencastle. I'll root for my guys, and people will see me and they'll look at me and be like, I went to the scrimmage at the start of the year, kicked off at South Putnam, all 4 county schools. I'm waiting to get food, and I see Seth Hammond. He was somebody that was one of my coaches when I was in school at South Putnam. I said hi to him. I waved to him, and he looked at me. He said hi, and then he did a double take. And he was like, "What do you think you're doing wearing that down here?" And I said, "Well, I got to support my guys."
That's right.
But I do catch some flack, and I get it in the coach's office every now and then, sometimes too.
Wait, your coach's office now?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Every now and then, not very often.
Well, that happens. I mean, that's because when I had, it's almost like unheard of. Like we don't cross that bridge, and you're the second coach I've had that's crossed the bridge, and I always want to know what's it like. I mean, do your players ever say, "Don't forget what team you're on" when you play these?
They don't.
That's good.
They don't. I think because I taught my first year Greencastle, and then my second and third, I went up and I taught at North Putnam while still coaching at Greencastle, and so I think
you bounce around.
Yes, I have. But I'm glad I'm back at Greencastle, and I intend to stay there for a while teaching. But the guys, they would always ask me, "How was your day? How was your day today?" And I said, "Well, I'm here." So it was good.
Yeah. What coaches have helped influence your coaching style?
When I was in college, I worked for Indiana State baseball as a manager when Coach Hannes was still there. Okay. Just watching him, his mannerisms, how he acts, how he interacted with his athletes, along with Coach Vanderglass and Coach Smiley. Those were three individuals that had a big impact on me as far as how to teach the game, how to interact with young men, and just in general be a presence on the baseball field.
Mm-hmm. Being a manager of a college team, what goes into that? Because I've never had a manager on the show. So what kind of insights can you give us on that?
We, for me specifically, I worked with the hitters and the fielders a lot. Okay. So whether it's feeding the pitching machine, making sure that guys are getting their reps in on the field, every now and then I would feed machines through a fly ball machine, or I would feed through an infield machine, just helping guys get their rep. If they want to stay after and get extra work, staying with them, getting that extra work in. And then on game days, it's making sure the stat sheets are printed, making sure the radar guns are all charged. I didn't travel with them when they went on the road, so I only got to work with them for the home games, but also just through BP, setting up the field, tearing down the field. At the end of the game, making sure all the Gatorade containers are all dumped out and all that, and make sure everything's plugged in, ready to go for the next day.
Okay. I like you said, putting the stat sheets and getting them ready. Stats are very important. I hope everybody's listening about that. You need to keep your stats, especially on max preps. That's what we were talking about before the show. Not all the coaches put their stats on max prep for the media over here to cover the kids. And I'm talking to some of you coaches now. Hopefully your little skin's burned. Anyway, my bad. So how long have you been coaching at Greencastle?
This is my fourth year.
Last year you won sectionals, correct?
Yes.
Can we get a recap of the season last year?
Yeah. Last year we were just coming off of a semi-state run the year before. So we had only graduated 2 seniors from the year before. So the expectation was hopefully that we were going to be able to get back to that stage. We always set 3 goals every year at the start of the season for our guys. The expectations are to win county, compete in the conference, and win a sectional. Okay. In my 4 years there, that's always been the 3 expectations that Coach Wells and us as coaches have laid out for our guys. And last year was nice because it was a year where we were able to run the Triple Crown and do all 3. It was the first time for me as a member of our coaching staff that we won the county tournament. And so we were really able to ride that momentum we had from the year we went to semi-state into last year. I think we had 2 stretches last year where we won 8 straight games. And the guys just did a good job of staying the course, understanding what was going to come ahead later down the road. And that experience really started to show, especially when we had some games that we lost that we felt we should have won. They didn't sit there and complain, whine. They bounced back the next day and started a new win streak. And that was a big part of us being able to go on the run and have the season we had.
Nice. You have some rivals. I mean, the county rivals. Do you have any other rivalries besides your county rivals?
Our main rivals are South Putnam and North Putnam. We always expect to win all the county games, but it's kind of like you said. It's kind of the county. That's kind of always the expectation is you win your county games. If you have a closer school, then you usually if they beat you over and over, it kind of turns into a rivalry. Yeah, we want to get over that hump, and we were able to do that last year for a couple of teams. We've had some games that were close. The years before, we weren't able to beat those schools. Last year, we were able to do that, and so for us, that felt good to be able to finally, quote unquote, get that monkey off of our back. Especially for Coach Wells, because some of those schools were schools that he hadn't ever beaten. This was going to be his 11th year there. Okay. So that was nice to be able to do last year.
Absolutely. When I talked to Coach Sorrell, he's talked about this Putnam County bucket. Is it for football, basketball, and baseball?
It is for baseball.
Okay. Who had the bucket during baseball season last year?
We had the bucket last year in baseball season.
Okay. Because that's why he said it travels for every sport, and I was like, that's awesome. Like it's always revolving. So who's got the bucket right now?
Right now, South Putnam has the bucket from football season.
Okay. Well, you're going to take it in baseball, right?
Hopefully, the goal is the county tournament is this week for basketball. So hopefully, our basketball team can bring that home with them on Friday, and then hopefully then we'll be able to hold on to it throughout the season as well.
Is that bucket? Is it a bucket game every time you play the holder of the bucket, or is it only certain times?
Every time you play a team who has the bucket, unless it is a tournament game, it is a bucket game. So when you play them during the regular season, if there's a tournament like the county tournament, those are bucket games. I don't think any of the county schools are in the same tournament like basketball wise that is outside of the county tournament. But anytime you play somebody in the postseason, those are not bucket games.
Okay. So it's just a regular season.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. You're in spring. Well, I call it spring training. You're in your off season now. How's that going?
It's going pretty well. We've been able to get our basketball guys in usually once a week to get some work in and get some reps in the cage, throw a bullpen. We haven't been able to get outside much the last couple of weeks. It's annoying to us. Yes, a little snowy. I was enjoying today looking out the window and seeing the snow melt. Yes. So hopefully, if not tomorrow, next week at some point, we'll be able to get outside and do a little bit on the football field. But our guys have been doing a good job so far of working and getting built back up, getting ready for the season. At hand, they've been working their tails off in the cage. What I've seen, I know they do a really good job with Coach T in the weight room. He does a really good job working with not just our athletes, but athletes for all the sports, making sure they're built up and they're ready to go for the season.
Having a strength and conditioning coach, it helps so much. I mean, I know back in my day, as I'm old, we didn't have that. We just had you had advanced PE, which was your weightlifting class, but there was no strength and conditioning coach. Times have changed. There are now, I think, almost every school probably has a strength conditioning coach now, and that is so helpful.
Yes,
they're working with athletes, and I'm assuming sports-specific weight programs, whereas mostly it was bigger, faster, stronger. We're just going to be bigger, faster, stronger across the board. I don't know if that works. It didn't work for the Oakland Raiders for the last 35 years, so I don't know if that's what we need to do. But it's cool that they're evolving. Everything's evolving like that, and there are now strength conditioning coaches. Looking ahead to this season, I mean, what are some things you can give us a little insight, a little preview? Maybe not all the secrets, but you have a lot of returners coming back.
We do. We have 7 seniors this year, so it's a very experienced group this year. The expectations always stay the same. It's like I said earlier, it's to win the county, compete in the conference, and win a sectional. Those are always our main 3 goals every year. If we can do that, then we feel like we've had a pretty successful season. But for our guys, with a veteran group, we expect to win a lot of baseball games this year. Something that Coach Wells has never been able to achieve is a 20-win season. It would be nice to be able to get, for our guys to get Coach Wells 20 wins this year. I know it would mean a lot to him. I know last year he got his 100th win. So that was something that meant a lot to our guys. But like I said earlier, right now it's just about trying to make sure we're ready to go for the season. And with the new conference, I'm not quite sure how it's going to look as far as conference standings. I know Crawfordsville is usually pretty good. North Montgomery and Cascade are usually pretty good. Western Boone, we've played them a couple times non-conference the last couple of years, as we have Northmont and Cascade. So we know a little bit about some of the schools, but there's also some schools we don't know a whole lot about, such as Frankfurt. So there's some question marks there. But like I said, it's our guys do a really good job of taking it day by day, week by week, with what's in front of us, not looking too far ahead.
Absolutely. For one game at a time. Don't want to focus 3 games away and then lose these other 2. This year, first ever MAC baseball champion. I mean, that's going to be exciting. You always want to be the first.
Yes.
I feel confident that you guys will be the first. You can say that now. He didn't say it. I said it, so come at me. Sectionals. Who's all in your sectional?
Our sectional is us, Greencastle, Southmont, South Vermilion, South Putnam, North Putnam, and Park Heritage.
Okay.
So we got 6 schools.
2A?
We are 2A.
Okay. Still trying to figure out all the different sports and all the different A's. 2A in baseball. Okay. That'll be good. I mean, is there any sectional opponent that's just a little tougher than, like, we have to any ball game to be right into this?
Yeah. Anytime a school like South Vermilion is usually historically pretty good when it comes to baseball. So we played them last year in the sectional semifinal, and they gave us some problems, especially as the game went on a little bit in the later innings, just trying to close out the game. It wasn't super easy for guys, but they found a way to do it. And then, of course, anytime you see a county opponent in a sectional game is never easy. I remember 2 years ago, we played Cloverdale in the sectional championship when they were still a 2A school before the reclassification. And the year before, we reminded our guys the year before they were an underdog in a sectional championship, and nobody thought they would win it. And they came back and they won that sectional. And so that was something that our guys did a good job of that year. But anytime you see somebody who knows you, especially as a county team, that always adds maybe just a little bit more to wanting to do well.
Yeah, because when you face a county team in your sectional, that's probably second, third.
It is
time you've already faced each other. So I mean, they know the ins and outs. So you and vice versa. So it's maybe more of a chess match then.
Yeah, and especially now with the new conference, with North Putnam being in the new conference, it could be a 4th time you see them. So that's something that they always say, it's hard to beat somebody twice, let alone 3 times. So, or now you add the possibility of a 4th time, right? Yeah. So there's just always making sure that our guys have that respect for the opponent, no matter how many times you've played them. And they do a really good job of respecting our opponents, especially on the field of play.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm excited because I'm not I retired from baseball 4th grade because I was awful. So I'm starting to grow the baseball Dinerverse, and right now I think I have 3. I'll probably throw some more teams in it, but coaches I've talked to is about 3. And Greencastle, of course, Greencastle, I got a soft spot for Greencastle. As I told you before, my mom taught there for 40 years, so it's a very, very near and dear place. I probably could have went there to school, but it didn't happen. But you recently you just had Mackinac Center redone and added on a whole nother. You connected the building.
Yes. I
went there for the first time 2 weeks ago, my daughter had a basketball tournament there. We were in the Aux gym. That is, of course, the main gym. It's my favorite gym ever. I've not been to Newcastle, and it don't matter. Greencastle's always been a cool gym experience. But that Aux gym's pretty sweet. And what all updates did they add to Greencastle when they redid all that?
They did a lot. I don't know all of the ins and outs. That was something that the construction was something that was happening my first year.
Okay.
So I know they went through and they did a lot of updates to classrooms, but specific for athletics, I know they added those aux gyms. They connected the buildings. We got a new weight room. It's a great facility for our kids to train in. And then they made some updates to McAnally. They added some new lights. They gave it a new look out front. So they did a lot, way more than I could ever describe.
Yeah.
But it is one of the top facilities. It was already, like you said, a top-notch facility. It is now a really great facility for not just our athletes, our young men and women to compete in, but for others as well.
I always get excited. We're playing at Greencastle. Yes. It's near and dear to my heart anyway, but it's such a cool facility. And I randomly found a picture from back in the 60s. The parking lot out front used to be football.
It did.
It
did.
I never would have dreamed of that, but I always quiz my mom. I'm like, hey, I saw this picture. Can you shoot something?
Well, and real quick, you talk about whenever you hear you're going to go to Greencastle, the McAnally Center. For me, when I work events and I have, if I work something, there's a middle school tournament or whatever there is going on that night, the kids too, they're like, this is where we're playing. Like, this is awesome. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, because for me, I've lived here my entire life. I've been there multiple times. So for me, sometimes it loses a little bit of that mystique, kind of that majestic look. Sometimes every now and then I just kind of sit back and remind myself, like, this is one of the best facilities for basketball in general in the state. And so for me, when I hear people come in, that makes me feel good because they get that wow factor of seeing it.
It's so cool. Like I said, always get excited. I always wish that we could play more at that McAnally. There's so much history there that I don't even know about, of how I believe it was the McAnally family donated funds to help build that. And there's a pool. You got a big pool there too.
Yes, we do. It's on the backside.
Check that out. If you're, I don't know if you can see it from the old. Used to be able to see it from the walkway.
Yes, there you should still be able to stand out. Not in the main lobby, but next to the auditorium, you should still be able to stand out and look down. There's a walkway too, I believe, still that you can look down and look down onto the pool and see.
Okay. So what do you say you're a big sports guy?
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to do outside of coaching?
I spend a lot of time watching video games. Not watching video games, playing video games. You know what I meant. Yeah. And I watch a lot of hockey. Right now, it's the middle of hockey season, so
who's your hockey squad?
I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins kind of guy. The Super Bowl just wrapped up. I'll watch football. That I don't want to talk much about the Super Bowl right now.
Boring.
Well, I just don't want to remember the outcome. But I'm also into basketball and motorsports. So I get just a little bit of about everything. Usually, I run out of screens to use. I've got 2 TVs, an iPad, my phone. Every now and then I have to break out my computer. I've yet to have to use both computers. But there are some nights where it's just organized chaos in my room.
It's like Buffalo Wild Wings going on.
Yes.
I got 14 screens going right now. How do you watch it all?
A lot of head movement, looking back and forth, and just looking at different screens. Usually, if something's I usually isolate 1 or 2 things that I want to watch mainly, and the others I kind of just listen to as I watch those. So it gets entertaining sometimes, especially during college football season and really college baseball season too.
I don't know if there's enough screens for college football season.
There's definitely not for college baseball.
How many? I don't know. Because there's a lot of college baseball teams more than I can know of. So, what games do you like playing?
I am primarily MLB The Show.
Okay.
Every now and then I will play Fortnite with a couple of friends. I haven't played Fortnite a lot recently, but every now and then I do. And I play F1, NASCAR, so I get a little bit of motorsports in there.
Yeah.
But I usually just try to relax and have fun and hang out with buddies. My best friend got married a couple of years ago and moved down to Vincennes, so I don't get to see him all the time and hang out with him. But being able to hop on and play with him a couple, at least once a week usually, is nice.
It's very cool that we can, you got a friend of Vincennes, and you guys we still play video games with our friends. Not like the old, I do miss the old days. We're all sitting in one room trying to play multi-screen.
Yeah.
I screen watching people.
I'm just as guilty. I'm just as guilty. When I was a kid, I always denied to my brother or my cousin that I was screen peeking. Mm-hmm. But the reality is we all screen peeked at some point.
He got to the point where we had to bring in separate TVs and sit there. But that's what, like on Thursdays, Coach Dean and I, Atticus football coach, we'll do. We're doing a dynasty run, which that's getting intense. Tuesday nights is Dinerpod Dragons, and now even on the podcast, you're going to be on a roster sometime. I got 355 podcast guests plus all the football seniors, so I throw them in there. But that's been a lot of fun. Like people see my inner nerddom coming out of. This guy creates random, or not random people that's been on the pod. They're not football players. Yeah, that's what I do. It's just game day rituals. Do you have any game day rituals? You got to eat that meal. You got to have that candy bar. You got to have that energy drink.
I do. I am a big. I don't remember what they're called now, but there's these sports drinks. And it's going to drive me crazy that I can't remember what it's called.
Buckton.
No, it's not that.
All sport.
No.
I just dated myself.
But I usually have one of those, and then a protein bar.
Okay.
Is usually that used to be what I would eat 7th period, and then I would drive down to Greencastle and kind of. I'm a big country music person when it comes to baseball.
Yeah.
That's part of. When I was at Indiana State, that's part of something that got me into kind of the baseball mood was that. So I used to listen to that. Now that I only have to go about 15 seconds, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that much of that. Yeah. But the sports drink, the protein bar, that's something that for me is kind of that ritual.
Okay. You're the first protein bar guy. Usually it's, I got to have Lou's Diner. I got to have my Taco Bell. I got to have that. So game day, you're just protein.
Yep.
Ooh. You don't get hungry?
Well, I'll be completely honest there. If we have a home game that night, usually I might, after the game, I might head to Wendy's and get something, or if McDonald's line is long, I go to Wendy's. If it's short, I might swing a McDonald's real quick, or if I have a craving for Burger King, that's way out of my way, but it's out by Walmart, and on that end of town.
Gotcha. And then you slipped up and told me you were a wrestling fan.
Yes,
I am too. What got you into being a wrestling fan?
Just sitting down on a Friday night and seeing Friday Night SmackDown on the TV every Friday, 8 to 10 when I was a kid. That got me into it. And then just being able, when they first started producing, I found out they made DVDs of pay-per-views, because that was never something I was able to watch as a kid. Now they got ESPN Unlimited, Peacock, all that stuff. I don't miss one now. But being able to watch that stuff and just learn a lot more about the history, like that really got me into it.
Yeah. Who's your favorite wrestler?
When I was a kid, it was Edge.
Okay.
And then after he got hurt and had to retire the first time, it was Randy Orton and CM Punk.
Okay.
So when CM Punk came back in 22, I think it was, I was stoked.
Yeah.
Because I had made a comment to somebody because there had been rumors about it. I had made a comment to one of my friends. I said, "Can you imagine if CM Punk comes back tonight?" And they're like, "It'll never happen." Like that bridge is burned. And I'm sitting there. I remember the show was in Chicago, right? So I'm sitting there watching it, and they pan out, and I'm in the middle of typing a text that says, "Well, shoot, guess you were right." And right about that time, you hear the static. My mom was watching it out on the big TV, and she had already turned it off and gone to bed.
Oh.
She didn't even wait. So like, that's lesson number one, right? Like, you never turn off the show until it's gone black.
That's right.
But about 15 seconds later, my door opened and she wanted to know what on earth was going on.
CM Punk's back. Are you glad that he finally came to WWE?
I am.
Yeah,
I am. Because
are you an AEW fan?
I see a lot of stuff on social media, right? The great thing of social media, you see a lot of stuff on there. So like being able to follow guys like Edge now as Adam Copeland on there and Christian, and like seeing some of the guys that were WWE guys go over there. Like still being able to follow them a little bit. I do that, but I have so much that I watch.
Right.
I'm not going to sit down and watch wrestling for 7 nights a week. That's a lot.
There's so much wrestling. Like I tried to bring back my wrestling show, and I've done it for 2 weeks now, but I don't know, because we had the Royal Rumble and then we had Singleton Pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a little more to talk about, but I sit there and I like during the day I'll be on my computer working and the wrestling's in the background. I'm like, there's just so much.
There's a lot.
It's hard. But now I'm starting to utilize AI, rumor sheets, and YouTube highlights. That's been very helpful. And I wish OVW. I got a lot of friends in OVW. I wish that would. I get clips of that. But I got to watch the whole show, pal. It's fun. I don't know if you've ever been to OVW.
I have not.
If you ever get a chance, just go. I know they're on Thursday night, so it's a late night. You can get front row tickets for $15. So
that's a lot better than I won't tell you what I paid to go to WrestlePalooza last fall to sit in the middle bowl of Gamebridge Fieldhouse.
I got an idea because I paid for the Royal Rumble. And I sat in the lower bowl.
See, I was there for that too. We were just off the hard camera on the hard camera side. Okay. So, and we were in what would have been the lower seating of Lucas Oil Stadium. Yeah. So we had really good tickets for that.
Yeah, we were in the lower bowl. We were just off the ring a little bit, but then I found out I was eligible for a media pass. I'm like, what? That'd have been way more better, because I was like, I had to sit up in the nosebleeds, but a free ticket.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I'm gonna keep working on my media pass. I haven't got one yet. So, but what's your favorite match in the wrestling?
There's so many really good ones. I always like to think back to like the Attitude Era, because the Attitude Era for me is the golden era of WWE. And I know I've watched a lot of videos and he's like, I hate that match. But Mick Foley and The Undertaker at King of the Ring in the Hell in a Cell, like that is like that. Because they talk now about with all the documentaries and stuff you watch with Unreal and Breaking Kayfabe and all that stuff. We're like, seeing all of that, especially as you get older and understanding the realness of the situation there, and Undertaker saying that he's staying on top of the cage and he thinks he's just killed a man. Yeah, like that to me is as real as it gets.
It is. Well, I was 8 years old when that happened. And we weren't allowed to get pay-per-view, so I had to watch the highlights on Monday Night Raw the night after, and they just kept showing him just get chucked. I'm like, I was 8.
You're like, that's a human being.
I'm like, oh my gosh! And then choke slam through the cell. Then choke slam on the thumbtacks. This is all one match. Like people who aren't wrestling fans, this is all happening in one match. And it's like Mick Foley. I don't see how he's still standing, because
he's a goat.
I mean, that Vader ripping his ear off. He went through the cell 2 or 3 times in other matches. It's like
there's one match he went through the cage, or he went through the mat.
Yeah,
he had a match with Triple H in a Hell in a Cell, and
one of his retirement matches.
It was one of his like 3 retirement. But he got backflipped off on top of the cage, went through the cage and through the mat.
Yeah, and that's That's a lot because I've helped set up some rings in my day, and I'm assuming they may have prepped for that. But I mean, that's 2x6s or 2x8s and steel bars across the ring, and to go through that, and to me, kayfabe is still real.
Yeah,
that's what everybody's like. You know, you see the backs, like, because when I commentate, they're like, "Do you want to know the finish?" Like,
no,
not unless I absolutely have to know. I said, I want a raw reaction, real reaction, and most of the time I don't know. Now, if we're in a tournament, like we just had a tournament Saturday night, I'm gonna know who the final four will be.
Yeah,
but I didn't know who the champion's going to be because he played it so close to the chest, and I'm like, "Thank you for doing that." He goes, "You knew, didn't you?" I go, I had an idea, but you didn't tell me, so I didn't have to confirm it. So it's just wrestling's a fun industry, and it's just. Have you ever been to Squared Circle Expo?
I have not.
You need to go. It's coming up March 27th, March 28th. I'm going to be there with my buddy, and we got some special guests coming. They've not been announced yet, which is killing me. But all I got to say is one of them's too sweet. So it's exciting, but. Wrestling, dude, you're gonna get me all started on that. I don't know. Real quick, I gotta thank the sponsors because we could talk all night about wrestling. This time, I want to thank our sponsors: Wabash Valley Plumbing, RJ's Formal Wear, Varsity House Outfitters, and Everhope Cup. So, what would be your? Now I got a second to contain my excitement. What would be your dream match?
My dream match. It's never going to happen. I would have loved to see Sting versus Undertaker.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. I was so excited when Sting came to WWE, when he wrestled Triple H. We knew that he was going to lose, but seeing DX and NWO in the ring together, I watched it with a bunch of my friends we were all Attitude Era kids. That was it. We were back to being 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
It just took us back. And my son was with me at the time watching it, and he was 7. He's like, "What's the big deal?" Like,
no, you don't understand.
You don't understand, young one.
I mean, well, that's like for me when Edge returned at the Rumble in 20, like that was my favorite wrestler as a kid. And like, I'm sitting there watching it in my room in college and I am bawling.
Yeah.
Because like, I can't believe it.
Well, because he retired in what, 2011?
2011, yes.
Yeah. So 9 years and WWE doctors are pretty,
when it's your neck, they're not going to mess with it.
So him coming out, it was a huge deal. And same with Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whoever thought he'd come back. He ended up having to leave the company to come back. But Edge, and that was just going to be so cool. What did you think of Brood Edge in SummerSlam a few years ago?
That was he does it really well. He does it really well.
Did you hear AEW was planning on bringing Gangrel back at the same time? They hadn't announced it yet, but they started the Brood gimmick again, and that axed Gangrel. He goes, "Oh, it was cool to see, but it cost me a job." So, but that was always cool. And then, of course, they got the Judgment Day, which was the name.
Yeah,
I don't like the Judgment Day anymore.
I don't either. I hope Finn Balor leaves them. Be great.
What about Obafemi? Like,
he's a stud.
I am sold on Obafemi.
That dude's a stud. He sold me. I was sold before he stepped into the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble sold me altogether on Obafemi. That dude is massive. If you don't know what Obafemi looks like, you better go look it up. The dude is huge.
He's bigger than Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Hands down.
And Brock's massive.
Brock's the ultimate athlete. Like, walked on to the Minnesota Vikings here. Like, that's not that. But Obafemi, and I know Obafemi had a track and field background. He was a thrower of some sort in college, but just the size, the strength, the bigger, faster, stronger, basically. That's when it didn't work. I mean, he is phenomenal, and I hope that they do a storyline where Brock passes that torch to him.
I think that would be good.
I think so.
That'd be good.
Lesnar could still be an animal, but let Obafemi beat you.
I would love for that to be his retirement match.
Yes. I'd probably Gunther.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that possibility.
Yeah, I'm over Gunther, but I when he retired Styles, well, allegedly retired Styles, I think Styles is going to TNA to finish.
I think he is too.
I mean, he built that company out.
Yes.
What it is now.
And it wouldn't surprise me if at some point he showed back up. Like if Gunther has a big match or something, if he were to show back up and have a role in that, or so that wouldn't surprise me. But
yeah, I got a feeling Gunther's he's gonna retire Orton. He got the career killer versus the legend killer, and
that's a box office match in itself.
It is. But it's weird because all my guys that I grew up watching, they're retiring. Well, most of them are passing away now. But the others are retiring, and
that's how I'm starting to get.
Yeah.
Like CM Punk doesn't have much longer left. At like when he finally does retire, like that's gonna hurt me.
Yeah.
When Orton retires, but I think they're doing a really good job with some of these younger wrestlers like Carmelo Hayes, Obafemi, Javon Evans recently. They're getting some big pushes. They're guys that are top end talents.
Yeah. Javon Evans is what, 21, 22? I mean,
yeah.
He's a child.
He is. When Drew McIntyre had his first run, I think he was around the same age Javon Evans is right now.
Yeah.
And he has, like, for me, he has that it factor of I can do this and do this well.
Yeah, he is phenomenal. I was talking to a couple wrestlers that came up with Javon, and they're like, yeah, it's frustrating. He's one of my friends, and he's in WWE, and I'm in the independents. I get that, but dude, he's a freak. He's in the land of freaks now. I mean, he's just. I didn't really know who Javon Evans was until I watched. Really, the Royal Rumble was about the first one I remember seeing him at, and I was just like, that guy, Mr. Bouncy.
Yes,
Mr. Bouncy. Oh well. Coach, we can talk wrestling all night, but I do appreciate you taking the time to talk with me, and I look forward to covering you guys this season. So
I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, it's been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to talk more wrestling later on. I'll be hitting you up and be like, what do you think about this team scenario? What do you think about this match? But we're out of here. Keep pushing.